All right, see if that's working better for those out on the YouTubes. I think maybe a couple of audio settings are back. On the back end, weren't quite working well. Welcome in if you're just now hearing my voice. Thanks for joining us online. A little bit of an incident there. Unfortunately, we had one of our riders go down on the home straight, but we are still up and racing right now with the lead of the race going underneath the Stanley sign. Team 8 is the red jersey team. Hi, Mom. That's right. There we got sponsorship as one of the ways that you can help out the Velodrome. And if people will put up the price for a jersey out here for the Madison, they too can get their own sponsors and their own name on a jersey. I think I know who's responsible for number 8. Hi, Mom. If I have my money on somebody right now. Seeing 11 to go, we're almost to the halfway point. The lead of the race is team number 1, sponsored by Ride Group in the color of the rainbow trans flag colors. That is Matty Hers, about ready to toss in Andy Baker down the back straight. Red and yellow continue to work together and set the front of this one. No surprise that green has lost the lead pace. He's found a partner to work with in Team Haldy. So as we round the corner onto the home straight, these two almost caught here by the leaders. Miller comes back in as his teammate tossing him in for Team Red. Broadmark, the sponsor of our yellow team. Also in the lead group working together. Now actually sitting above the blue line, maybe a little bit of a hesitation. A little smaller field here for these Madisons. And of course, these riders are also aware they've got more races to do tonight. So you're not going to put everything out here tonight when they have a whole great series of races to go for the rest of this evening. Riders saw 9 to go on the last lap. And we come back together now as a group of 4, allowing our dark purple with yellow accents to come up. It's the Chamois Butter team in the purple making their way back up. And as they round out onto turn 4 here and come onto the home straight, they're going to be seeing 8 to go. So we're starting to slide our way down into the final part of this race. Looks like it's going to be a field of 4 now. Bit of a break here as teams do a quick exchange on the home straight, but things looking like they'll be able to get back together again. The yellow team today is Andrew Martin and Mike Robson working together. They're the middle group now coming up in a second wheel of the lead group as they round into the home straight. Brett Walker on the lead for the red team right now, leading out our peloton group 4, the main field. The brothers Cunningham, although no confirmation that they're actually related, riding together as the purple team. It's Brad Cunningham and Carl Cunningham out there for the Chamois Butter squad working together. Team Haldy making an exchange in front of the big exchange behind them in the field. Team Yellow going on the move. A nice attack out of this exchange. Andrew Martin, I believe, making the move that time. Good exchange there on the home straight and trying to get out of the chaos with a bit of a gap here, force the riders to catch. So Team Yellow making a good move of it. And it's at 5 to go, forcing the response. He's getting a fair amount of energy out of the field to try to keep him close. Cunningham in the pursuit there for Team Purple, pulls out of the way, needs a little bit of help. It's Matty Hers' turn to try to bring this down. And looks like he's got the scent of it. He's going to be able to toss in his teammate maybe to close this down as Andy Baker will be fresh and ready to go. Brett Walker forced to respond quickly also for Team Red. In fact, now the pride flag colors overtake the lead spot, going very high over these exchanges. Team Red forced to ride through and around the traffic. It's Baker on the lead. Looking a lot like the beginning of this race, but Team Red not letting this one get away this time. They're going to do a lot of work to keep this together. Leave it to Brett Walker to do some good work there close that thing down in less than a lap. Not doing much more work to keep the tempo up. He just wanted to make sure it didn't get away. So having chased down the lead rider at 3 to go, our 3 riders coming back together again. The Chamois Butter team allowed to roll back into this one, it looks like. Walker tossing in Miller on the back straight. Hers brought in as well for the team pride. All rolling at the blue line, though. Nobody's using this exchange as an opportunity to attack. Casually brought back up to speed here under the powers of Christian Miller. He'll just continue to roll. He sees an opportunity to continue to apply the pressure here. 2 to go. They'll hear the bell next time around. First team across the line is our winner. Of course, it's only the rider in the race that we're counting. The relief rider will not be counted. Trying to leave Chamois Butter team out of the fun here. The Team Cunningham a bit off the wheel. And here comes the bell. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Christian Miller digging deep. He's got an opportunity to toss in his teammate. It's going to be a very high-speed toss-in. Very critical moment. And the response here from Brett Walker. He's got to really dig deep as Andy Baker's going to try and drop him down the back straight. A good move for the rider on Team 1. I think that's going to be too high of a hill to climb for Team Red as Andy Baker working together with Matty Hers nicely today. A good attack on the final lap. Andy Baker to open up here our season. We'll take it for Team 1. Great ride for High Mom as Brett Walker nearly able to hold on to that wheel. Just not quite enough acceleration at that very critical moment. Great finish for the Madison teams as everybody's finishing up this lap and will exit on the back straight. Points races coming up next. The first group up is going to be the Cat 4 men on deck to start here in just a moment. All right, we've got points racing coming up. Everybody's going to take a shot at this one. First up, the Cat 4 men. Points racing is an opportunity for riders to sprint several times in a race and earn points towards their victory at the very end. How many sprints do they get for points? Well, it's determined by the race format. This is a 4x3, 4 sprints every 3 laps. That's a lot of opportunities to sprint. Every time they go for points, there will be a bell on the lap before letting us know it's time to go. And as they cross the line, we'll score the first 4 riders, 5 to the first rider, 3 to the second, 2 to the third, and 1 to the 4th rider. On the final lap, they get double those points. So it's an important sprint at the very end, even more so than any of the ones previous. Riders now in the neutral and will start out of turn 4 if they're all together. And the whistle means racing's underway. Cat 4 men. Off we go. 4:08 is Trevor Matsushima, who's been very active here in the early goings of this season. We saw the preseason. Trevor's been very active in doing a lot of work here in this group. He'll get started on the very first lap. No points yet, but still wants the tempo early in this good-sized field. Spread these riders out a little bit, make it hard from the initial part of the race. Seeing 11 to go. Next time around, they're going to be hearing their first bell. So again, these points races, this particular format with these very short amount of rest between sprints, they're going to come at you pretty fast already. Going to be heading into our first opportunity for points. And Trevor's done a lot of work to be at the front. He's still there, but man, that's a long time to be there. Let's see if he can hold on for one more time around the track. His number 408's got some riders starting to breathe down his neck. That's Conrad Mayer, Dyna Racing right behind him. Couple riders in the second lane along the blue line trying to reposition themselves. Some speedsters from the middle of the field might also be trying to make some noise. I think Team Epic's on the move. All the way from about 2/3 way back in the field is Gavin Newman, our Portland competitor, zooming out to the front. Gavin for the first 5, no questions asked. Oh, his teammate almost coming in for 3. That's going to go instead to the rider in the middle, I believe. 406, Jamie Park, I think, will get the 3. That's Jack Hampson for 2. We'll get the confirmation on the rider that picked up the 1 point shortly. My call's, of course, unofficial from this side. Gavin Newman, number 421. You can see he's opened up a bit of a gap here. 406 as Jamie Park looks over his shoulder for a little bit of help as the field is now in pursuit of the young rider. He stays out there just long enough to make them do some work and then pulls off the front and allows the field to catch. Looks like the confirmation was to Trevor, number 408, for the single point on the first sprint, putting him in 4th place overall. Jack Hampson of the East Portland Youth Cycling Team is in 3rd with 2. Jamie Park with 3 in 2nd, and Gavin Newman with 5 is your current leader. The bell's ringing again at 4:02. Kevin Ulrich is leading the way. Down on to the home straight here in just a moment. We've got Ulrich rounding the corner, but a good bunch sprint coming around him into the middle of the home straight. Looks to be 427. Josh Surfree picking up the 5 there. Your leader still Newman with 6 in a tie now with Jamie Park also at 6. 5 points to Josh in 3rd now. Number 427 moves up into 3rd after that previous sprint for 5 points. Hampson and Ulrich tied with 2 apiece. Trevor sitting alone at 1, currently in 6th overall. Coming fast and furious, there's another bell. Points next time around. Bernard Yee leading out the sprint now is number 417. He's got his teammate right behind him, one of the leaders, number 406, in position. Yes, we are checking on. We did have, I believe, we had one rider as Daniel Pham is down in corner 2, and we are addressing the situation currently, so we'll continue to support and look after our rider here. Round in the corner onto the home straight now. It looks like it's Park trying to lead things out, but the attack's going to come at the blue line. Good speed here for Hampson is going to be able to find the 5. 427, I believe, in the middle will get the 3. Jamie Park for 2. I believe that's Trevor down the sprinter's lane for 1. All right, bit of a break here before the final bell. It's 2 to go. Next time around, our final bell. Let's check the points. Your leaders now, Jamie Park tied with Josh Surfree, each with 8 points apiece. Jack Hampson in 3rd with 7. Gavin Newman in 4th with 6. 2 riders with 2 apiece. Kevin Ulrich, Trevor Matsushima, the unofficial totals. Good race at the top. We got 3 riders within a point or 2 of each other. And then a battle at 2 points now between Trevor and Kevin Ulrich also. So the fight over 4th and 5th place still looking good here. The field coming out of turn 4 will be the front of this race. Everyone else is chasing them down. Bells ringing for the leaders. 1 to go. 1 to go. That's right. We got some good folks here that know how to cheer when the riders are going by. Give a little bit of encouragement. Love to hear it. Everybody here is competing, and there are, of course, local athletes here coming out to Redmond. Always good to give them some help. That down the back straight looks like Trevor's going to launch the attack. Starting things up, it looks like Jamie Park's trying to hold onto the wheel. These are riders at the top of this competition. Things are coming in fast here on the home straight. Here we go. And Dyna Racing trying to hold on Jamie Park, trying to find the last 5. It'll be 10 points, 10 to number 406, unofficially 427, picking up the 6 points. Boy, oh boy. And we're giving some love, of course, to all those riders in the black and the blue, all the riders competing all the way out through the field. We do have an official call from the previous sprint, number 427, receiving relegation for moving down track and when it was already occupied. So out of the previous sprint will not be scored. 427 relegated from the previous sprint. Unofficially, I think it's going to be Jamie Park after picking up the Big 10 at the end. Number 406 for Dyna Racing with a great finish there. Should be your winner out of the first competition tonight for the Cat 4 men. Coming up now, our open women's field for their points race. On deck, the kids. Kiddie Kilo coming up next. Make sure you got your helmet and your gear ready. We're going to get you over next to the grandstands here shortly. Yes, I do see the comment there earlier. Sorry, at the beginning of the race, we did not have audio coming through onto the stream, so there was a couple questions we missed. We have had 2 riders that are okay and up again after a quick tussle. We had Chris Wilson, Dan Pham both hit the Velodrome there for a little bit, but they're doing okay. Racing continues, and currently we're looking at the open women's field who is out on the track in the neutral for a 4x3 points race. Same exact rules as we just saw, a different group of riders. They'll start at turn 4 as they're all together. And next up, very excited, the Kiddie Kilo on deck. And there's our whistle, and racing is underway. Won't hear a bell for a couple more laps. The open women on the track. 12 to go. Bell at 10. All right, setting up for the very first sprint here, our open women on the track. A couple riders from the Breakfast Racing team at the front there in the dark maroon red color. Bunching a bit in under turn 3 as they know the acceleration is coming. We're about to be coming into this first bell lap. Kelly Darlene coming up towards the front. Edwards coming into the sprinter's lane. Everybody's wide across the track now. 10 to go, first chance for points. Number 3, Nielsen, making a familiar move over that blue line. She'll sweep down into the sprinter's lane and take the lead with about 350 meters left to go all the way around the track. Nielsen still on the front of it. That's A great spot for Darlene to be in, as well as Annette Williams. A couple of good finishers there. Trying to be ready to come up and around the wheel. Nielsen looking good here all the way around the track, trying to hold on for a little bit longer for the first 5. Nielsen on the home straight, trying to hold on. It'll be down the middle. Look out for Williams accelerating. Whoa, Williams, I think we'll get it. Number 11, go down to number 3 for 3 points. I believe it was number 1, Scoville, gets 2 points unofficially. And there goes Claire Law. She says, I don't want any more of that. I'm riding away. Law riding this thing off into the sunset on her. I was like, well, nope, there's no one there. Keeping on it, 8 to go. And we want to make sure we thank, it's after the Madison probably should have given more thank you to our great sponsor, Vi 13, for helping provide so much of the things you're seeing out here. Our Madison's jerseys, helping with a lot of our merchandise. Vi 13's founder, Gary Ryan, and his team are continually working to improve the performance, fit, and finish of their products. As athletes who love sport and want to help every athlete meet their goal, their passion shows in each seam, stitch, and cut. From world champions to weekend warriors, Vi 13 has all your cycling clothing needs covered. Bell's ringing for number 6. And the chase from the field is pretty moderate right now. Number 1, Danny Scoville. Not in the mood to go catch just yet. Claire Law's one heck of a fierce competitor. Lots of ability to ride away from this field. She showed it last year, as Claire's got this great amount of motor and great training coming into this season already, it looks like. Annette Williams, the leader right now in the back of this, or in the front of this field. She's trying to find some positioning to come around and pick up 3 more. 5 to Claire, 6 to go. Good sprint here for the youngster from the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team, but it'll be on the outside to number 205. It looks like it's me, Christine Diebler, getting the 5 that time around Scoville, who only picks up 3 thanks to that. After the sprint there from the field, they're able to carry the momentum and bring Claire Law back into the group. So your leader has been reabsorbed, giving other riders an opportunity to make something happen. So this time it'll be Edwards, number 5, Team Mama Bear, number 88, Catherine Wade Easley, Ken Morvello cycling in the blue. The Center Cycle squad join up together to make an effort across the front, and out they go. Let's see how long the field takes to respond here. Maybe these two can get away and get some points on the next sprint as well. Kiddie Kilo riders, if you're not already being called over, make sure you come on over now. We're getting you lined up and ready to go. Bring the helmet, the gear, and of course your bib number. Kiddie Kilo participants, go ahead and make your way on over. We'll get you all queued up and ready to start. 4 to go and the bell's ringing. Edwards and Wade Easley have a nice gap here. The field looking around. That's Kelly Darlene looking over the right-hand shoulder saying, okay, is anybody else going to chase? This might be a situation where we catch after the sprint again. The gap looking pretty good here. It's Wade Easley leading out. I think these two riders are pretty happy sharing points if they can stay away. It looks like they're not going to be competing against each other. There's 2 sprints left to go. There's a good gap here. I wonder if the two can keep this going. Wade Easley looks like she's going to pick up and accelerate here, not give Amara any chance to come around the outside as Catherine will pick up the 5. Edwards will find 3, and that might be all she's going to pick up now as Law finds 2, and Nielsen for 1. There are several riders within just a few points of each other. It's a close competition right now. I believe still Claire Law on top of it with 8 unofficially. A couple riders within 3 points of her include Diebler, Catherine Wade Easley, Annette Williams, Scoville, even Heather Nielsen I think is just within about 3 or 4 points as well. So at 2 to go, it's still anyone's race. And Wade Easley is holding on to the solo attack here, just keeping away from this field. You can see they're actually now swinging high up across the Greg Cycle sign in turn 2, taking up lots of track space and not really in the chase right now. I think this is Catherine's race to lose at this point. She's got total control off the front. She's going to be able to find 10 here in just another lap. Here's the bell at 1 to go. Wade Easley. A nice solo effort for the rider in blue. 1 to go. The field coming out of the turn. Not any bit of interest to chase down that impressive solo rider. It's now the sprint for 6 out of the field at 1 to go. Nielsen takes the lead spot again, number 3. She's got Darlene, Scoville, Williams lined out behind her. And it's going to be between those 3 to try to come out and around and take the lead spot. We're watching now, of course, our leader in positioning likely going to be picking up the victory here with this. This will give her, I believe, 14 points at the end of it, or excuse me, 15 points, which should be good to hold on to it. Wade Easley with a great race here tonight to open up the evening. The sprint for 6 is looking good behind the blue helmet of Scoville. Williams tried to make a run at it off the back wheel, not quite able to find it. It'll be Scoville for 6, Williams for 4, and Claire Law for 2 more at the end. Open women competitors, please find your way off on the back straight. Great race. We'll exit on the back straight as you can. Thank you. All right, coming up next, the Kiddie Kilo, a regular event here where the kids get on the track and have some fun. We're going to open up the big gate here and bring out some groups onto the track and celebrate the future of sport in our area. It's going to be good times. And of course, if you made a little bit of noise for some of the athletes before, you got a lot of chances to make noise for them, right? They went around several times. These kids get 1 lap, so you have to put all of that, condense all that energy into 1 time around the track. I think you know what to do. You're going to make lots of noise for the riders as they come by. Ooh, big kid group of 3, a 1-on-3 here kind of a situation. Off we go. 1 fast lap around the track. The elites off and away. That kid's got a good gear back there. All right, we got another start going on here on the home straight. We're going to see these riders off. And there goes our next group. Make noise for the kids on the home straight. Here we go. 1 to go. 1 to go. And our finisher here from the first group coming in nice and speedy here with the red bike. Look at that form. Cruising into the grass after you finish. Fantastic job. Nice bike handling skills. Here comes another one of our finishers. Great job around the track. Good riding today. Almost there. Keep going. There you go. There you go. Here we go, folks. Make some more noise. Here comes our second group coming around. Come on into the grass as you finish. Nice job. Keep on going. Great racing around the track. Woo. Yeah, don't use the rider in front of you as brakes, okay? There you go. Nice riding. Color coordinated with the helmet, too. I love it. Oh, everybody's favorites are still coming up, folks. We're trying in reverse order this year. It goes from the older kids to the very youngest. It just keeps getting better and better. All right, here comes another one of our fine-looking groups here. And off goes another group. Make lots of noise for this great group of riders. The future of sport here in Redmond, Washington, in our area. Nicely done. The parade of awesome out there, turn 1 and 2. Look at the speed of those feet.
Yeah, those say it in the title though. Yeah, or just open the notepad. But it'll say what you need. You'll see it.
Green is a good color here. Look at this. Around the corner with some good speed. The neon green gonna lead us out. Nicely done here for another one of our youngsters. Ooh, it's a sprint. Oh, look at the move. Oh, they're going all the way. Good racing. Wow. Woo. Slamming on the brakes. Nice racing there. That was exciting. I think that got some of our riders on the infield. Their heads are turning over there. Whoa, look at these two. Keep on going. You're almost there. Nice job. A little further. Good work. All the way down to the finish line and into the grass. The Kiddie Kilo is something we do out here at the Velodrome every 2 weeks during the regular season. So if you've got some family friends that might want to come on down here, someone in the neighborhood who rides their bike all over the place, come join us first and third Fridays of the month all the way through the regular season. Great opportunity to have a little bit of fun and end your night here in the park and enjoy these beautiful evenings with our Velodrome community. Oh, yes. The fast and furious home straight sprint coming up here. Okay. This is a moment that these kids will remember for their entire lives. Don't mess it up. Make it really, really exciting for them. They're going to just go down the home straight here. They're going to be kicking like crazy, furious fast here, all the way down to the finish line. Here they go. Go, 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 go. Look at them go. The Bounce Bike Showcase. Woo! Right on into the grass. Look at the speed down the home straight. Wow. Nice job. Keep going, keep going. Woo. Woo, 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 woo. Nice job. All right, and with that, the kids, the parents, the whole Kiddie Kilo, let's make ourselves right back out the gate we all came in, right back out this way. Very nice job to all of our riders. We're gonna take our bikes and all the people and right back out the way we came in. Thank you so much, that was so much fun. We hope you enjoyed your opportunity to come ride around the track. This is, of course, the Kiddie Kilo at the Velodrome every first and third Fridays of the month. Come on out and have some fun with us. And, of course, what better way than to say thanks and good job as moms and dads, and going on over to the beverage garden, enjoying from our two beverage sponsors tonight, our highlighted sponsors for the evening for our first night of the regular season, Poststock Brewery and Locust Ciders. Poststock, where you can expect satisfying Pacific Northwest lineup along with a variety of sour and barrel-aged beers. They are located right outside the Velodrome. You can, I can attest to their tasting room being very dog-friendly and a wonderful place to be. And, of course, Locust Ciders, our thanks to brothers Jason and Patrick Spears. They specialize in modern-style ciders. Their tasting rooms are a great place to get into the new world of cidery and apparently retro video games if you're into that scene as well. Locust Ciders and Poststock Brewery, our thanks for once again being a 2023 sponsor. All right. Moms and dads, kids, everybody's making their way out. It is time for the Cat 1-2 men and their points race coming up next. We'll bring them up to the rail. Looks like we're cleared enough of our riders. We should be able to finish up here in just a sec. Couple more points races to go here tonight, folks. Hope you're enjoying yourself. The scratch races are coming up after that. Want to see the full season or excuse me, the full schedule, or you want to get a link to the live stream, velodrome.org/live, and you too can pick up on the live stream or check out our schedule tonight, as well as the live results folder. And the Cat 1-2 men off of their points race. It's a 15-lap event, 5x3. So 5 sprints every 3 laps. It's still only 3 laps in between. But they get 5 chances to sprint for points this time. The same rules apply as before. 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the leaders on those points laps. 10, 6, 4, and 2 on the final lap. Cat 1-2 men, this is the field that has earned the most upgrade points in the previous field, so they've earned their way through. Cat 4s, Cat 3s, and here they are racing tonight as a Cat 1 or 2. It's just riders get upgrade points as they finish at the front of their field, in case you're not familiar with some of the vocabulary around competitive cycling. So looking forward to not just a large field today, but also a fast field here early in 2023. Should be a good time. Currently neutral, waiting for the signal from the official to start the race. And off we go. 15 laps. The racing is underway. Cat 1-2 men. 15 to go. Martinez, number 122, takes the early going on this lap. Kel Rohrbach racing in the black and the green right behind. Just for a moment, Cunningham will swing up to the right, as has Ben Flom. Several riders that have been very active and successful here early in the season, or preseason, showing off here early on as well. It's John Bowie, number 124 for the Waterline Racing Team. Came a couple weeks ago during the preseason, had a very good showing in a scratch race, and here he is again looking to be effective in a points race. We'll watch how he races this one tonight. Big enough field, you're going to see a lot of field dynamics here. Riders having to be in position before sprints, moving in and out of position, finding a wheel to be on, getting a good draft here. It's a bit of a windy afternoon, evening here at the Velodrome. Very important for riders to be in a good position. Here at 13 to go, that bell's ringing for first. It's number 110 come across the line, Alex Siegel. I believe he's also in the colors of the Waterline Racing Team. Heading down the back straight. Nice big attack here from Siegel as he's opened up some serious hurt. Siegel. Whoa. 5 points for him. It looks like Matty Hers for 3, Brennan Russell for 2, Bowie for 1. All right, a bit of rest here at 11 to go. Bowie does not want to rest, though. And when 124 gets nice and narrow for a little bit, he's going to pull this lead group. They appear to be snapping off just a little bit from the front of the field now. But as they readjust their tempo, the field will come back together again. There's your winner of the first sprint, number 110, is doing what he does best, sprinting, and then he's going to be done. That was some good speed, though. That was fun to watch. Bell's ringing at 10 to go. You know, we can look forward to, folks, is Siegel and the Kierin later tonight, and many of these riders who are going to specialize at that really high-speed short race. That's going to be a good time. Bowie, number 124, leading out the sprint down the back straight. Here comes some new riders into the action. Seeing a move around the right-hand side down the back straight as it's going to be, ooh, Bowie doesn't want to give up position, though. He re-accelerates, a nice push on the pedals as he takes back the lead. He's greedy for the 5 here. Bowie running onto the front, will hold on. Single file behind him. 5 for Bowie. Sandoval for 3. Galen Erickson found 2 in that sprint. Brandon Russell for 1, I believe. I have one rider in the lead is Bowie at 6 points currently. Siegel in second with 5. Shouldn't be a factor beyond the first 5 though, unfortunately. It's Brendan Russell, Matty Hers, Mario Sandoval in a tie, 3 points apiece. Eventually would be good for second place here, but. And then of course 2 points for Galen Erickson. Everybody else looking for points here after 2.
Thank you.
7 to go. Bell's ringing. Indeed, Siegel did get lapped, so he is down points. So that call has already been updated. More points coming up, and it looks like Scott Grinsel in the gray outfit is the one leading things out now. Cunningham on his wheel. Bowie, very active, looking to find more opportunities in these sprints as he's our current leader. But Grinsel for his first points coming to the line here at 6 to go. Grinsel for 5, Cunningham for 3, Bowie for 2 more. And that's going to be Nolan Adams, number 111, picking up his first. It's still Bowie in the lead. I have him at 8 unofficially. Your race leader currently, that's number 124 for the Waterline Racing Team. 124, John Bowie, 8 points. After that, we got we have 3 to Russell, Brad Cunningham, Matty Hers, and Mario Sandoval in a tie for second place. Galen Erickson has 2, Nolan Adams with 1. My mistake there, I missed Scott Grinsel as well with the 5, currently sitting in second, ahead of all the riders with 3. At 4 to go, Galen Erickson, number 130, is at the front for a moment. That looks to be Carl Cunningham now taking the lead spot. For the Stranamonte cycling team, coming up out of Tacoma now, leading the lap down the back straight. He's got Erickson with him as well as Kenny Williams. There goes Erickson up and out of the saddle for a moment to accelerate and take the lead spot. At 3 to go, it's going to be Erickson, Williams, Cunningham. And that's going to be Andrew Martin getting the single point at the end. Erickson and Williams making a nice threatening duo here at the end of the race. Are starting to try to pull away a bit. Andrew Martin doesn't want anything to do with that. He says, yeah, I'm coming right back up on this one. And I'm joining in on the fun, making it a group of 3. That's Carl Cunningham, just a bit off the back there of the leaders. Currently with 2 points. He's trying to stay in the action and see if he can work up a little bit further in the leaderboards as we come into 1 to go. Erickson sitting in second with 7 points, just 1 behind Bowie as we come into this final sprint. 1 to go. Williams flying up high, waiting for Galen Erickson to join back on. Carl Cunningham trying to hold on, but it looks like he's lost the pace on the lead group. The sprint for 10 going down the back straight right now as Erickson's trying to win this race against Williams and Martin. Williams with a great turn of speed. He's got the wheel and the timing. And now the second punch also coming in from Martin, who manages to get up there and has enough to push one more sprint out of him. Martin, number 135 of the 10-Speed Hero team, picking up 10. Williams with a great finish for 6 points for him. Erickson will find 4 more. Bowie for 2 coming out of the field. Erickson still, I believe, getting enough points in that race to be in second overall, just behind Martin. I believe is maybe even on the tiebreak is that close. With Williams getting the 6 in that sprint was very critical to Erickson's finishing position overall. Good race there for the Cat 1-2 men in our final group in the points race. Come on down to the rail. It is the Cat 3 men 5x3 points race coming up now. Hope you're enjoying yourselves out there. Don't forget as the riders go by to make lots of noise. And if you need a bit more refreshment or a little bit of a pick-me-up, Two Bums is serving some shaved ice. We've got a great food truck out behind us here also for the tacos and your dinner needs. And of course, if you need another kind of refreshment, the Beverage Garden tonight open. Of course, our highlighted sponsors, Postdoc Brewery and Locust Ciders, serving up drinks all season long. They're here in the Beverage Garden helping us out tonight and all throughout 2023. Sorry, YouTube audience, I can't get those things to your home easily. Hope you're enjoying the viewing from wherever you're at. The race on the track right now is our final points race for the evening. The Cat 3 men in a 5x3, another 15-lap event currently in the neutral. All right, racing underway. Getting the signal out of turn 4. Number 347 is Peter Snoblin to open things up at 15 to go. A couple laps before the bell's ringing. Taking their turns here, a moderate tempo to open this thing up. 312 is Tyra Lacey at the front for just a moment. They'll quickly rotate their riders now as we come into a lap where they will be hearing a bell. Don't forget to cheer for the red Power Ranger if you're not sure who else to yell for. Stanley Douglas there near the front and kind of in the middle now of the race. Bringing out the red Power Ranger for tonight. Might be taking a power play out of Alex Siegel's playbook here pretty soon. Let's see how this one unfolds at 13 to go. That's Colin Stotts for the Found Cycling Guild. The rider in green at the front, one of our younger competitors in good form here early on in tonight's race. The moves coming in from the middle of the field, though, starting to move things up towards the front. Colin is going to lose the lead now. Rounding the corner. At 12 to go, your white helmet, number 362, is Tyler Nolde for the first 5 points. The Waterline Racing Team representing here on the first chance for points in the Cat 3 field. Snoblin trying to take advantage of the other riders wanting to rest. He will go at 11 to go and see if he can separate himself a bit. He's got 2 riders following suit. Bell's ringing again for more points. Let's see who's got points here at the front. Not many of these riders actually have any points yet in their back pocket, so they're all looking for an opportunity to get going here. I think the only one is 368, Justin Captis, who's got a previous point from the first sprint. The race leader back a little ways, resting in that second group, just out of the field. It's going to be one of the juniors, Merrick Gallagher, the rider with the red helmet, making a nice acceleration from the front to try to hold on for the 5. The challenge will come again once again from the middle of this field, though. Gallagher for 5. That's 317 alongside of him. Aaron Halfacker for 3. And I think that's once again Captis down the sprinter's lane, finding 2 more this time. Weighing the official call for that final point in the sprint. It was Luke Wilson for the Seattle Cycling Club finding 1. And 8 to go. Captis leading the field at the blue line as everybody's trying to get their system reset before the next sprint. They still got 2 more in this grueling points race, which does end up kind of playing out a bit more like a tempo with a little bit of pause here and there. Snoblin not wanting to allow anybody to take a pause as he's up and out of the saddle down the back straight and back into his effort, trying to force the issue, seeing 7 to go and getting the sound of this next bell. Snoblin on the attack. Rider without points, trying to find it here. Captis pulls up and out of the way, not doing the work yet to go chase that down. That's Luke Wilson, 306, who found a point in the previous sprint, maybe looking for some help here, not wanting to go dig this thing out on his own. Nobody from the field yet fully committed. I think the race is for 3 points right now between them, as Snoblin looks like he's in a really good position to pick up the 1 as we now watch around the corner and see it'll be Snoblin easily for 1. Behind him, it's Captis coming out around the side of Wilson. Wilson, Captis side by side. Whoa, and the move on the outside. I think it's Halfacker for 3 officially. Whoa, 317 might have made the move at the last minute. Wilson for 2, I think, and Captis for 1 is the unofficial call. Aerotech Racing's Peter Snoblin picks up the 5, but he's going to rest back into the field, which has been pretty well pulled apart. This is still the largest group of riders on the track here coming onto the home straight, though much smaller than they started. They've lost some riders from all this activity. And I miscalled it earlier. We still have 2 sprints remaining. It will indeed be number 317, Aaron Halfacker, with that great acceleration. Right at the line, able to find the 3 in that last sprint. Let's check the points totals. It's close between several riders. Halfacker, after that sprint, actually comes out in front. 6 points is your leader. 3 riders with 5 is Gallagher, Snoblin, and Arnoldi. After that, I got 3 to Luke Wilson. Captis has also got 3. That should be a tie currently for 6th place. Stotts with 2. I also got Carson Hedrick with 3. My mistake, I'm missing that one. And actually, it looks like Captis is at 3 as well. So several riders sitting at 3 or 2 points. We have another bell, and the field's sitting really high here. Gallagher is the first rider down the sprinter's lane. He's got Halfacker behind him as well as Fowler. Another one of the junior riders with kind of that orange rear disc wheel trying to close the distance down. He's leaving about a bike and a half distance between him and Gallagher, who continues to accelerate nicely here around the corner. Gallagher coming onto the flat in total control for another 5. Halfacker accelerates nicely for 3. Fowler for 2. And that's Carson Hedrick, number 304. Finds 1 more in that one. Gallagher becomes your new race leader with 10 points now. It's only 1 point ahead of Aaron Halfacker, sitting at 9. And then it goes back down to the riders with 5 after that. So I've got Snoblin in 3rd, tied with Arnoldi for 5. After that, it's Hedrick with 4. Luke Wilson and Justin Captis both with 3. Colin Stotts, Will Fowler with 2. The call unofficial. 2 to go as the leaders came across the line. We're going to get a bell next time around for the big sprint for 10, 6, 4, and 2. Right now, it's a great race for first between Halfacker and Gallagher. Speaking of which, there's Halfacker now following on the line of Snoblin, who goes off the front here. He's one of the many riders with 5, so he's also fighting for top 3 spots. Trying to be active here before the bell rings. Halfacker finds himself taking the lead spot now, maybe not wanting that. He moves up, waiting for somebody else to take it back, as Snoblin is happy to keep on the effort now, as this is his best way to get some points in this last lap, is to just make it fast consistently. The field behind him starting to rev things up a bit here. Carson Hedrick, the rider in black, making a nice move in the second lane, just above the sprinter's lane at the red line, now trying to come up to the front of the field. Halfacker rolling around Snoblin, trying to hold on for the 10. This would be for the win as Halfacker accelerates down the home straight. Halfacker should be able to find it for 10. Hedrick, number 304, holds on for 6. Number 306, Luke Wilson for 4 in the final sprint. It looks like Gallagher, the junior, might have found 2 as he was battling it out against Colin Stotts on the back end of that one. A couple more riders finishing. A nice race for the Cat 3 men to start out the evening for them. And And we've got lots of more great racing to go here, folks. It's scratch racing time here in just a moment. And Cat 4 men, please stand by for just a moment as we bring on our next group here soon. And here comes to the rail our next group. It's the Cat 4 men for the scratch race. We've got 4 scratch races coming up. We'll talk a little bit about the race format for those of you who may not be familiar while they're in the neutral. On deck, open women for the scratch race. And your Cat 4 men sent out for the neutral. 12 laps on the cards. We'll get them started out turn 4 as long as they're all together. This is a scratch race, and this is as standard of a race form as it gets. Nothing fancy here. It's a race for the finish line. 12 laps total. You'll get a bell at 1 to go. First rider across the line is, unsurprisingly, your winner. Nothing else to get in the way of just good old classic speed here and tactics for our riders. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful evening here. I'm going to get a chance to talk a little bit more about this great facility and everything we do during the regular season. There's just so much to talk about the race during those points races. Here in the scratch race, I might be able to find a bit more to promote what else we do here at the Velodrome. Hope everybody's having a great evening, enjoying the beautiful sunshine, hopefully wherever you're at. If you're not here and you're tuning in on the YouTubes, thanks for sticking around for some great racing here at the kickoff. And the whistle sounded, racing underway. 12 to go. That's Kevin Ulrich, number 402, your leader on the first lap. So a lot of these riders that you see out here racing, even in this field, not only are there junior competitors out here, we've got adult competitors that are joining in all the time here at the Velodrome, and this is where they start really getting their experiences racing in the Cat 4 fields. And that all starts with riders making the choice they want to learn a little bit more about this sport and get on a fixed gear bike. This facility is a fantastic place to learn. We've been open for a long time up here in Redmond, Washington, and that's been one of the things people talk about here is that it's a nice big velodrome with easy curves and a really good staff to help people start understanding how to race. So we've got classes for adults and juniors alike. You can get registered for them through velodrome.org. On the classes tab, you can find Try the Track courses, which are hours, just an hour long. The adults pay $10, the kids are free, and they get access to a rental bike included with their sign up. We'll get you set up on the fixie and help you get all the basics figured out. If you know you want to do a bit more than that, we have the adult classes, which are a 4-hour class, and they get you ready to race. After you finish, you are invited to participate on Monday night beginning racing. If that's not your speed either, you're a junior, you need something a little different than the adult class. We've got Camp Velo, still spots open this summer. Spots filling quickly, however. That's a week-long camp for the youth to come out and learn the basics of racing and bike handling and safety. And by the end, they also will be invited to be part of the Monday night regular racing program. You can check out all the information I'm talking about, of course, at our website, velodrome.org, where you can read about our race nights and, of course, all of the courses that we offer to get folks onboarded into this great sport. Currently, the field moving forward and backwards a bit here. Bit of an early effort has now been brought back in the field. All in contact once again, and this time it's at 8 to go behind the wheels of number 408, Trevor Matsushima. Saw his activity in the first race tonight. Still making a splash here in this second race. Dyna Racing showing up tonight to race. Trying to put on a mid-race effort here. Nice acceleration when had lots of track in front of him, and at 7 to go. It's going to be 4:18. Conrad Mayer for the Dyna Racing team, inviting out Bernard Yee to try to follow suit. If you're out there enjoying the stream, you're out there watching from wherever you are, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Crash in corner 2, folks. Crash in corner 2. Track is clear. The race is still going on. Your leaders avoiding all of the the bump and hit we had there in turn 2 are slightly benefiting even from that positioning and found themselves well ahead. They should continue to roll as they're doing, as Bernard Yee now finds himself at the front working with his teammate. It's every rider for themselves here at the track. They are on teams organized for their efforts and their practice and their preparation, but out here they are lone riders going head to head. It just so happens that the two of them in the right place at the right time have sort of combined together to make this thing fast to the front. A couple riders now joining up with them. Question on the stream was, what are the little flags near the finish line for? I think you're seeing our Kiddie Kilo cones, which is sort of a little infield course slash area for the kids for holding. We just haven't put them away yet. So I think that's maybe what you're seeing. We had our Kiddie Kilo earlier tonight, and there's like a little infield course for them, a little area for them to ride around in as they hold and wait. A little bit of other accoutrement over by the official stand you might be seeing too. Yeah, getting a little bit of help there for one of our juniors that's coming across the line. Everybody here is racing to get faster, stronger, and have a good time. We'll check in. I'm going to check in on the back straight, folks, as it looks like we had a bit more of an issue here for some of our riders. We're going to continue to tend to their needs. At 3 to go, the race is still underway as the track is clear, so riders are still competing, and that's Trevor Matsushima, number 408, at the lead of the field now. Jamie Park coming up back into the mix. We saw what he could do in that points race earlier tonight. Nearly there, 2 to go. Your field's going to be sprinting for the finish here in no time at all. Gavin Newman, number 421, ramping up an attack here at 2 to go. The other rider out of Portland is thinking about joining in. He'll actually slot back in behind one of the adult riders as Gavin's looking for some help, maybe seeing what this is doing behind him. He'll abandon up in turn 3. Maybe look for a wheel to get back on before this bell's ringing. Jamie Park is forced to take the lead spot now, and he's got a long ways to go around this track. 1 to go for the Cat 4 men. 1 to go. Park leading things out. Jack Hampson right behind him. Here goes Hampson now trying to make his move. He had the good position, a good wheel. He's up and out of the saddle for a good acceleration. Side by side with Park. Looking in good shape here, coming out on the home straight. Who's it going to be? Ooh, I think it's the kid by an inch. Hampson will just barely take it over Park. A great head-to-head sprint. Nice racing here for those folks. Again, we're concerned for those that made contact with the racing surface there just a bit ago. We'll continue to check in on them and make sure they're okay. Riders are finishing up on this lap and will exit on the back straight. I believe our final rider is across. Let's see here. We're going to make sure everybody's safe before we bring on, of course, our next group, the open women competitors. There's our signal. Come on down to the rail, please. Open women to the rail. More scratch racing coming up. And more Dennis Crane, too. Hey, nobody wants to see that, man. DBC Photo here taking some photos for everybody. Another one of our sponsors and great partners for a long time. Dennis is great at getting good angles out here on the track. You can always count on him. Put up some great photos after the weekend is done. Check it out at dbcphoto.com. Another 12-lap competition. Open women's field on their way. Okay, we saw it the way the riders wanted to go in the first ride back in their points race. I've got my eye on a couple of these riders for their strategy here in the scratch race. I wouldn't be surprised to see some early moves here, some early attacks happening. But we'll see how this one plays out. Again, a 12-lap competition, a scratch race. It's a race for the finish line here at the Velodrome. On deck, the Cat 1-2 men for their scratch race are coming up next. If you're enjoying the view out there on the live stream, you're seeing the view from the back of Kelly Darlene's bike, number 9. She's got the GoPro view in there, so we're enjoying a little bit of the action there down the track. My bad, that's on the front. I just looked at her bike. I was like, I don't see anything on the back. The field got the signal, and the race is underway. It's 12 to go, and we're off for our scratch race. The open women's field's kind of bunching up here early on. Bit of hesitation as this thing is opening up. More great racing this year, all throughout this regular season. We're here whenever it's not raining, folks. So if you know it's good weather here in Redmond, we're going to be out here on a Friday night doing the show. Friday racing June, July, and August with our finale September 1st, where we crown the season champions for their overall efforts throughout the year. Food trucks, beverage garden, Kiddie Kilos, Marymore Crawl, and of course all the great racing action you're seeing here, all part of the Friday night show. A great destination for family and friends to come on and hang out together, enjoy the picnic scene, be in Marymore Park, a great way to end a beautiful summer day. Redmond locals will know about Derby Days. That's another great event that's coming up every single year we can look forward to. Well, we're partnering with Derby Days to make a really big showing and a huge crowd during Derby Days. So we're gonna have a Friday night going on here. We'll be shuttling people over at the end of the day. Our big thanks to the city of Redmond for their ongoing partnership and support of the Velodrome. So if you want to mark your calendars for a real fun party here at the Velodrome, don't forget to think about Derby Days here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. Our race underway for a couple of laps. Fairly moderate tempo so far. Darlene, our rider with the GoPro view, is sitting right at the front of the field now. She swings up, rides across the Stanley sign, and will find her position back in the field. One thing about the scratch race is the only motivation to go hard in the middle part here is to try to make it hard on other riders. You try to make it fast, make it hard for them to stick with you. And if that's not your play, then why would you, right? You're going to be selfish. You're going to sit on a wheel. You're going to be slower. Don't want to use any unnecessary energy. Like I said, I got at least one rider I'm picking out of this field that doesn't want it to stay this tempo forever, that they're going to have to do some of the work at some point and say, all right, I need to pick this thing up. I need to force riders to catch me, or it's just going to look like this for a few more laps, and it's going to be a bunch sprint. And then I can tell you that I know right now the first 3 riders across the line, if this is a bunch sprint, and it's a fair chance for that finish line. So again, maybe this is our opportunity here. In the next couple of laps, we're going to see if anything develops at 8 to go. Being watched very closely, one of those riders I'm marking, that's Claire Law, starting to go into position alongside of Catherine Wade Easley, and that's exactly what I expect her to do. Somewhere at this point of the race, she needs to make a move like this. And this is getting exactly what they need to have happen here. The field not able to close the gap just yet. In fact, they're letting this open up a little bit. So here we go again. Can Claire Law make this thing roll? And made the call at 8 to go. Can they hold off the charge for the rest of the race? It might be all the chips in on the table now. The Breakfast Racing team cheering on Claire, who has made the solo move. It's going to have to be pulling it pretty hard here for a long time. It doesn't look like we're quite yet into our stride, though, is it? Not seeing that gap's going to hold for much longer. Kelly Darlene, great effort here to bring this race back together quickly. As Claire is on the home straight at 6 to go, right on the front of this field with Darlene doing a great amount of work to bring this back together again. Your new leader, Scoville, number 1 in the black and the blue of the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team, sits at the front of the field. Not someone I expect to do a similar move to what Claire did, but she'll do a little bit of work to help bring this back together again. But let's give credit where it's due. Really, number 9, Darlene, pulling a big effort there to close down that gap quickly about a lap ago. Seeing 5 to go now. Nielsen, number 3. Annette Williams, number 11. And now soon to be number 5, Amara Edwards, all take their turns at the front. Want to keep up to date with all things Jerry Baker Velodrome? Don't forget we have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can follow us at JB Velodrome on Twitter and Instagram, and check out our Facebook page. Just search for the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. You'll find the fan zone. Give us a thumbs up, and then you can keep up to date with any updates such as rain cancellations. That's a good reason to follow along on the socials. We'll always post if we know racing gets canceled because of weather. Maybe someday we'll have a covered facility and not be subject to that, but for now, that's where we're at. Good tempo now in the field. Riders taking their turns to try to keep it pretty quick. Daughtry of the Breakfast Racing team takes her turn, pulls up and out of the way. There's Darlene again. Law coming into the front position, seeing 3 to go. Not surprised to see Law take another big effort here. Scoville right on the wheel, though, trying to be sneaky coy and let Claire do the work while she benefits from the acceleration. As soon as Claire gives up the chase here, Scoville will come out of the sprinter's lane as well and start to let this thing settle. In fact, most of the riders are going to move up to the rail, and whoever's at front kind of dictates the positioning. Oh, leaving up the lane, trying to drop the sprinter. Not sure she's going to have enough distance here yet to get rid of this persistent, speedy rider. The kid's right back onto the rear wheel again and glued on for Claire. 2 to go, 2 to go. Good move by the youngster there to just hold on again, trying to take the move up and down the hill. They're showing what's so fun about the geography of the track here as they continue to use the bank to slow down and re-accelerate things. Scoville's still right there, though, will now take the lead spot, not wanting to drive the train. She just wants to be right behind whoever is. At 1 to go. We'll find our victor in 1 lap. Scoville, Williams, Darlene lined up here at the front side, starting to fan out a little bit behind the wheel of Scoville, who is definitely not trying to drive this thing. She's waiting for someone to go on the attack as long as she can. A little bit of positioning now from Darlene, who's in a good spot to kind of hold Williams down into that lane. The lead now still to Scoville, who's just going to try to drive this thing from her position of power at the front. You see Edwards and Law trying to flank and get into the race as well. It's going to be Scoville down the sprinter's lane. Annette Williams trying to come along the right-hand side. Williams looking so smooth. Williams, whoa! Scoville holds on for the win. Williams, number 11, with a great sprint around the right-hand side. Edwards and Law round things up in this top 4 sprint for the finish. A good scratch race for the open women. You got to love those final laps in the scratch race. Woo! Good time to go get a quick refreshment, folks, as we're going to bring up the next race. And in just a little bit, we're going to get to see another exciting finish for a scratch. It's the Cat 1-2s coming up to the rail. Cat 1-2 men to the rail. Like what you see, want to check out more racing? Don't forget, Friday nights every week here throughout the regular season. We're here 7 o'clock, Friday night racing every week, 7 p.m. start. Usually go for about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the race schedule. Beverage garden and food trucks, of course, always here as well for the show every week. And our scratch race getting into the neutral, 15 to go. Cat 1-2 men in the neutral for the scratch race. All right, our group staying together, and there's the sound of the whistle. This exciting 15-lap scratch race. Just getting started. Erickson, number 130, made some noise in the first race. He's going to try to make it noisy now. And a push here from three riders, creating a bit of a break off of the main field, who's in single file. That's showing they are in the chase. They are not letting this thing get away. The fewer lanes in the field, the faster they're going, as every rider's looking for a spot to hide behind in the group. $12 to go. And that's 103, Andy Baker, that's been making some noise on the front there with his two compatriots. Although things have come back together again for our lead riders, as both Ben Flom, the rider in the orange and the blue, and now the rider in blue for Gene Johnson Cycling, Erickson, get caught. Back into the field they go. Plenty of laps still to go on this scratch race. In these interim setup laps, you'll see several riders try that just to keep things quick and interesting. Give it a go and see what happens of it. John Bowie, number 124, pulls out of the way for Keller Rohrbach's racer there, number 128, Brad Cunningham. Matty Hers racing in the colors of the Coefficient of Speed team. The blue with the white helmet pulls out of the way as well. Little quick rotations there at the front, and you can tell that the speed is a bit slower now as the field has started to bunch up just a bit. 10 to go. Quick first 5 laps. Sandoval, number 101. You can only be the first 10 numbers in your field if you had a good season last year. So if you have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10, you're a top 10 rider of the last season. 101, Sandoval, our season winner last season. Wearing bibs 101 in the group. Scott Grinsell now, the rider in the gray, comes to the front, taking his turn. Things quick again as everybody's trying to find a wheel to be behind. 9 to go. Christian Miller not wanting to stay at the front for long himself. 10-speed hero pulling up and out of the way as a couple riders follow suit. Ooh, big jump here. Williams pulls out of the way, and now Sandoval wants to play a little bit off the front. At 8 to go, it's Sandoval trying to make it happen now. 132, Mike Robson of the 10-speed hero team. That white jersey with the colorful stripes. Brings it back together with the lead rider and now creates it again. A little bit of a break group. They're just away from that field though. Both groups moving at pretty good clip. Looks to be the red Audi Racing as Brett Walker pulls it up to the right there towards the rail. One, 2, 7 is Carl Cunningham of the Stranamonte cycling team. Comes up with a group of 3 more to make a group of 4 just a little off the front again. We keep seeing this where riders are dangling just out in front of this field, keeping it quick, but not really able to develop anything else out of it. Trying to use a little bit of the inside of the field there to get a little bit more of a draft as Ericsson kind of swings up into the group and then swings back down. It's Ericsson on a big move here. Good turn of speed for number 130. Bowie, number 124 in the blue. Waterline Cycling is trying to close that gap down quickly. He brings with him Sandoval, so some movers and shakers here are not wanting to see Ericsson get away for too long. If you're not checking out the YouTube stream, what's wrong with you? It looks like our fans are having a conversation about which direction you ride on the track, and if you can go the other way, would it wear down the track? I don't know. Now it's getting a little too technical for me in there, let me just say. The riders coming back together again. Leaders being caught. The field losing a little bit of impetus as they catch. Good opportunity for Keller Rohrbach to move away. Brad Cunningham onto the home straight, takes the lead on his own at 4 to go. Looking solid. Here comes Ben Flom, number 126, leading the field. So we just had a lot of fun here with riders popping off the front, just giving it a try. This is a bigger gap though. I think the field a little bit more gassed here after those last several attempts they've had to cover. This is giving Rad a nice opportunity to be off the front here for a few laps. At least get some glory for the Keller Rohrbach squad here as he continues to look good off the front of the field at 3 to go. Cunningham's still away here. The field now, we check in where they're at. They're mostly along the rail, so a lot of riders sitting high. It only appears to be Nick Martinez. Nick Martinez down in the sprinters lane, who's leading out now a bit of an effort to try to close this thing down. At 2 to go though, Martinez doing a lot of work here, number 122. Bringing it just close enough that now we're gonna see some other riders making efforts here. I think Rad sees it, he looks over and sees some speedsters coming out of the field, the first of which is Brandon Russell. Brandon Lamando with the big attack out of turn 2. Found Cycling Guild on the lead. Here comes the final sprint. It's 1 to go. Make some noise for the Cat 1-2 man as they're in top speed. Number 124, John Bowie making the catch here quickly. Oh, rounding the corner. Bowie looking very good here. It looks like he's brought with him one rider of the Covision Speed team. It's Matty Hers. Had a great season last year racing in 104, so had a great finish in the season. Can he hold on to Bowie's wheel? It's going to be a sprint between the top 2 here as around in the home straight. Bowie, Hers, Bowie just a bit stronger here tonight, is able to hold on. 1-2-4 in great shape tonight. Russell able to hold off the charge just long enough for a 3rd place finish. Found Cycling Guild looking very good there. Just got caught out by the speed of Bowie down the back straight. Riders will exit on the back straight as the race is over. Good stuff there for the Cat 1-2 men. Our Cat 3s will come up here in just a moment. And our next group now coming to the rail. Cat 3 men, please, to the rail for the scratch. Our last scratch tonight before the Kierins. And off we go for our last scratch race tonight, the Cat 3 men. You can see how this usually goes. It's a fun race. There's stuff that'll happen in the middle. The most common thing we get to see is a great sprint at the end. And in the last race, we saw two kind of get away, so it wasn't a big bunch sprint. We'll see how the Cat 3s approach this one. On deck, we begin with the Kierin Heats. The first group in the Heats will be the Cat 4 men. That's coming up after this group. Off we go. 15 laps underway for the Cat 3 men. All right, let's see how we're doing here. It looks like Airtech Racing, James Campbell Harris at 14 to go. Taking the role of the leader. Number 311, Gene Wainwright will be next up in the lineup. You may be thinking, boy, this looks fun. I should try this. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're thinking that sounds crazy. Don't you dare even give me that opportunity. But you know what? If you're thinking it'd be cool to get out here and just give it a shot, we've got a really good way to introduce you to track racing and seeing if you like to maybe learn a bit more about the sport. The class is called Try the Track, and you can find it on velodrome.org. Sign up for an hour-long class during the summer. The adults pay $10. The kids are free. During that time, we're going to get out one of our beautiful rental bikes. We've got a great rental fleet here. We'll get you hooked up with it. It's already cost included. All you need to do is bring a helmet and some athletic clothes, and we'll do the rest. We'll get you set up on the fixie. We'll tell you how to race it and ride it safely, talk a little bit about how it works, give you a chance to ride around the track and just see if you want to know more about it. Again, you can get signed up for Try the Track classes online at velodrome.org. Head on over to the class tab, and you can find it there along with our adult classes, Camp Velo, and all the rest. 12 to go, and we've got a little bit of play off the front here between JC Pyle and Peter Snoblin, who are both giving their shot off the front a bit. The field kind of in between turns 1 and 2, where the majority of our riders are now kind of watching the 5 in front of them start to roll away. That's the black helmet and kit of Carson Hedrick, followed by the red helmet of Merritt Gallagher, who make the break up and join in on the front riders. At 11 to go, Colin Stotts is wondering, where's my help? He's like, I want to keep going. 316 for the Found Cycling Guild, looking very consistent off the front right now. That's got a group of 4 right behind him. The field basically catching the lead now, so one rider off the front. Heats will be updated shortly. They are being changed in the live folder. We will let you know when those changes are made officially. There's a couple of riders that were competing that will no longer be competing as a result of some of our earlier incidences. So we're going to update some of the start list to accommodate. Because of the loss of some competitors in the Cat 4 field due to the earlier crashes that we had this evening, Cat 1-2 heats will be the first round. So Cat 1-2s will be up before anything else for their heats. There may need to be a bit of time to wait to make that happen, as that is a change of schedule, but that is the current plan. Again, update that with the loss of a few riders in the Cat 4 field, they will be going straight to semis. Cat 1-2 heats would be the first part of our Kierin. We may need to give them a bit of time to make that adjustment. Luke Wilson, 306, is leading things around in the top part of the track as the field is just happy following his lead right now. Seven to go. Aerotech Racing's Snoblin back off the front here. Three, 4, 7, still on the lead of this thing. Snoblin encouraging the rider in his teammate's jersey there. That's going to be James Campbell Harris working to catch him. Let's check on our field here and see the gap. As it looks like we've got pretty good opening here for the Aerotech racers working together. The field giving them a lot of running room here. They're even sitting at the rail now. Snoblin and James Campbell Harris are benefiting greatly here from the lack of activity here in the field. Matt Gallagher will start to pick the pace back up again. The rider with the red helmet down the sprinters lane. Got some speed there from Captus as well, number 368. They're basically halfway around the track now from the leaders. Getting the views if you're on the YouTube stream from Captus's view there, number 368. He's got the rear mount, checking out some action in the field. Such a benefit of the technology to be able to see that view for us sitting on the comforts of our couch or wherever we are. Pretty awesome opportunity. At 4 to go, the field well organized now. Colin Stott seems to be helping instigate some more movement. We can see now our leaders just about halfway down the back straight. Still lots of room to get up to where they're at. The Aerotech duo here working nicely together. It's Peter Snoblin doing a lot of the pulling at the moment. Three to go for the Aerotech Racing duo. Can they hold on a little bit longer? Snoblin trying to stay in his effort here. James Campbell Harris will take over now. 306. Luke Wilson takes the lead of the field there and continues the gradual march back towards the leaders. And this is kind of the fun part. We get to calculate, are they going to catch in time? And they're making progress every lap, but is it going to be enough? You know, the last lap will be faster than the ones before, so still have a good chance to get up there. Help them out if you want them to catch it. 2 to go. The kid's trying to pull things back up now. It's 344. Merrick Gallagher. Carson Hedrick now down the sprinter's lane. He's going to keep on the tempo. So the rider in black, Hedrick, trying to get this thing back together again. Doesn't have long to go. Snoblin still on the acceleration. In fact, he might be dropping Campbell Harris a little bit here at the 1 to go mark. Peter Snoblin trying to win it all in the scratch. Aerotech Racing dominating here tonight. The bell's ringing for the rest of the field. I'm not sure that our speedsters are going to get there in time. Down the back straight again, it's Aerotech head-to-head. Campbell Harris has lost the tempo from Snoblin, who at this point knows he's got the race. He does not need to spend more energy than he needs to use for this one to win. He's got it in the bag. Campbell Harris coming in behind him. The sprint out of the field is Merrick Gallagher, the rider with the red helmet. Oh, a bit busy there. Whoa! I think that might have been number 317, Aaron Halfacker, just barely taking out Luke Wilson there at the line. Some Seattle fans might be wondering, yes, Super Bowl champion Luke Wilson coming across the line, if you were curious. Pretty exciting stuff. Great race for Snoblin and the Airtech Racing team. Good stuff. Seeing the breakaway effort pay off. Always good to watch. We are starting again. It's going to be the Kierin Heats coming up for the Cat 1-2 men before anything else. Our first heat is DeLuce, Sandoval, Martinez, Miller, Williams, Waterman, and Cunningham, Carl Cunningham. Our second heat, Vinson, Rad Cunningham, Wilson, Grinsel, Chip Chase, Baker, and Erickson. And our final heat, heat 3, Haldeman, Martin, Hildreth, Hers, Siegel, Bowie. And our final heat is Walker, Robson, Adams, Flom, Carlberg, Russell. Cat 3 and Cat 4 men semis have been reposted. Our heats and postings have been relisted on the live folder. The women were untouched. Theirs were good to go already. Updates now live. Cat 1-2 men, Kieran's coming up in just a moment. This is the beginning of a very fun little mini tournament we're going to run to find out our top riders in this very speedy event, the Kierin, a shorter race. And of course, our pacer bike out there, our e-bike solution, is going to be leading them around the track to help them get up to pace, making it a very high speed, quick finishing event. Riders have to qualify through several rounds, depending on how many riders showed up today, before they get to compete for the top honors at the end of it. First up, of course, the Cat 1-2s have to qualify through the heats before they're invited into the round of the semi-final and onwards. Coming on next, the first heat, DeLuce, Sandoval, Martinez, Miller, Williams, Waterman, and Carl Cunningham. Followed by, on deck, Scott Vinson, Rad Cunningham, Chris Wilson, Scott Grinsel, Dave Chip Chase, Andy Baker, Galen Erickson. Our first seat is on the warm-up circle now, and they'll be coming on the track here in just a moment behind our pacer. This is a 4-lap event. This is a top 3 qualify for major, bottom 3 go to the minor final. So very important these riders position themselves well here. Coming out of the heats, 4 to go, and the pacer will be here for essentially 2.5 laps. You'll see that lead bike there, battery-assisted e-bike, helping bring them up to speed over the course of 2.5 laps. And then on the back straight on that 1.5 to go, The bike will pull out of the way, and then the race is really on to the finish line. Before that pacer pulls out of the way, riders cannot come in front of that bike in any way, so they're compelled to stay behind it, follow in its shadow. Their initial order is drawn at random, so they were put in this position previous to the race starting, not to do with their speed or skill or anything like that. At this point, they are allowed to reshuffle though, so if they wanted to try to kind of reposition themselves within the lineup, they could certainly do so before the sprint is fully engaged. That opportunity is given to them. Oh, dropping here quite significantly as 136 abandoning big time off the front. Not wanting to keep that spot. Zaluce, I believe there, is in position number 1. That gives Sandoval the bike. Maybe that's not what he was looking for. Still not at top speed, so pretty easy for him to come back up and to fill that space back in again. Deluce kind of being pushed back as a result of that move because no one else wants them to come on into their position. At 2 to go, half a lap left with the lead bike. We're going to get a good look at it here at our first Kierin tonight. We've got lots of these to race still. This is going to split in half. Top 3 go up, bottom 3 go down. So an important race here to be in the top 3. If they want to continue to race towards the major finals and work their way towards being the champion tonight in the Kierin. Sandoval still on the lead of the lap right now as he was given that honor as Deluce moved backwards in the group. Miller on the far outside seems to be really making a nice run at it down the back straight. Coming around the turn, Miller still having the lead position. The second movement here from Deluce, excuse me, that looks to be indeed number 136, Deluce coming up quickly. Getting a bit crowded there in the sprinters lane at the very end, but it looks like the riders are going to be okay. And Sandoval, your third rider across the line, I believe will be the other to move on up into the majors. All 1-2 men over to staging, please, as soon as you can. The next 2 heats should be on over. Our second heat is already on the track. Heat 3 is Haldeman, Martin, Hildreth, Hers, Siegel, and Bowie. After them, Walker, Robson, Adams, Flom, Carlberg, and Russell. After that will be the Cat 4 men will begin their semifinal round. So Cat 4s are going to queue up after that. I will call for those riders soon. On the track now, of course, our second heat. In this first round of rides, 3 go up, 3 go down. You need to make sure you're in the top 3 position to continue to race for the top spot in this Kierin tournament / race that we're having tonight. Pace is out of the way, and the race is underway here for real now as the acceleration now comes from the riders' own efforts. Coming into the 1 to go mark, 1 to go. Cunningham down the back straight for Killer Robach, leading things out right now. Brandon Russell, the second wheel there. Scott Grinsel trying to be on the cut. Ooh, looking at the back end of this one. Ooh, I think Grinsel might have held on just long enough as Andy Baker was trying to run his way up into it, but I believe Grinsel will be your third rider across the line. All right, the Cat 4 Men Semis are posted. Heat A is Gavin Newman, Josh Sherfree, Trevor Matsushima, Tom Herink, Carl Beckenbach, Joshua Poznanski, Kevin Ulrich. Heat B, Conrad Mayer, Anton Ernishev, Jamie Park, Jack Hampson, Bernard Yee, David Gilchrist, William Huang. Your third heat now for the Cat 1-2 men. Again, we have a top 3 going on, bottom 3 done situation. So want to make the cut to continue in the competition, you need to place high enough here. Otherwise, you're no longer in the semis. Top 3 to continue in the competition with Matt Haldeman right behind the bike and a little bit less than a lap before it'll be his turn to lead this thing out. You can get a good look at him on the stream as we got the Kierin GoPro going throughout this race tonight. Andrew Martin right behind him, the rider in the white with the colored stripes for 10-speed hero. I'm watching the 3 in the back of this field very closely because I'm interested to see not just how they position themselves here, but I'm kind of anticipating those 3 to take it. So depending on how they come through this, we're going to see how they position into the sprint. At 1 to go, it's still Haldeman leading things out as Haldy looks down between the legs trying to see what he's got there. He still has an Andrew Martin holding on to him. The 4th wheel in the group, not surprised, is hers, is going to be the one to make it first jump. Oh, Martin tries to get up and over. He is able to. Big run down the back straight now as hers let it out. Ooh, right around now would be Martin. It's 3 riders side by side. Martin looking around says, I'm not sure. All right, we got our 3. Bowie, Siegel, and hers. The back half does indeed advance. Last heat, 3 more riders to ride on into the finals out of this group of 5. Brett Walker in the red is your rider in the first position behind the pacer. Robson for the 10-speed hero team in second spot there. Dyna Racing right in the middle. That's Nolan Adams giving a wave to the fans. The fan, I mean. Ben Flom, 126, your 4th rider in the group. Carlberg Coefficient of speed is the 5th rider in this group. Might be another situation where we need to watch the back of this field depending on how this thing plays out through the turn here. It's going to be Walker just maintaining tempo right now at the front. Bell's ringing, 1 to go, 3 more to move on up. Walker waiting for some attack here to form. He knows it's coming. 132 will start to pick up the pace now as Robson looks like he's going to run at the wheel and come over the back straight here, take the lead spot. Nolan Adams following in suit. Or on the far side, look out for the speedster Karlberg. Top speed record holder here at the Velodrome. No surprise he's going to look good in a Kierin tonight. He'll take that sprint and, ooh, wow. Between Flom and Adams, I'm not sure. The pink rider's got confidence. Possibly ill-placed, but I appreciate the confidence nonetheless. We'll see how those riders end up. Coming up next, it is the semi-final round for the Cat 4 men. They're coming around now in the warm-up circle, and we'll see them on the track here in just a moment. We'll get to see more of the Cat 1-2s as they work their way through their competition in the next round. On deck, the semi-round for the Cat 4 men's second heat, followed by the Open women's semi-final round coming up. Three of these riders are invited to race in the finals. So once again, it's a cut for top 3. The others will not race again. So out of our group, it's Gavin Newman in position 1, right behind the pacer, riding for Team East Portland News Cycling. Epic. Josh Sheffrey right behind him. It's Trevor Matsushima in the third wheel spot.
Open woman to staging. Open woman to staging. Catherine, let's go.
Tom Herring.
Open woman staging.
In the fourth wheel spot, Carl Beckenbach, your 5th rider, and Joshua Poznansky. And then finally, Kevin Ulbrich is the rider in blue. You heard tomorrow, it's time for the Open women to be ready. They're coming up after 2 races. They come fast. It goes now in order as our normal race order: Cat 4 Open women, Cat 1-2 men, Cat 3 men through these semi-final rounds for these riders. Seeing 2 to go. Next time around is a half lap with this pacer, and then off we go. Gavin Newman for Team Epic has the lead spot right now. Let's see what he chooses to do with it once it's his turn to lead the field. And down the back straight, Newman still on the front of this one. A little bit of hesitation. He's not fully engaged yet, nor is the rest of the field. They sort of backed off the pace just a hair as they hit turn 3. Newman waiting for some sort of response. Trevor pops out of this sprinter's lane there for a minute, looks around, comes right back into position. Down the back, it's Newman. Great speed here for the young rider, and to turn 3. The race is now for 3rd. Who's going to be able to stick around for another Kierin? It's still Newman on the lead of this one, looking like he's got this wrapped up. And it looks like it'll be Trevor, 408, the unofficial rider to carry forward onto the next race. Down the sprinter's lane, will not be denied. Coming on track now is Heat B. On deck, Open women, Heat A. And coming on the track now, it's Heat B in the semifinal rounds for the Cat 4 men. 3 more riders to join in on the final. Who will make the cut? Let's take a look at our riders here. We've got Conrad Mayer for the Dyna Racing team, closest to the moto. Anton Ernishev of the Jerry Baker Juniors is the 2nd rider. Jamie Park for Dyna Racing is the 3rd rider in the lineup. Jack Hampson Also of Team Epic riding in this group in the 4th spot. Bernard Yee of Dyna Racing is the 5th rider. David Gilchrist is your 6th competitor. William Huang, your 7th competitor, rounding out the group there at the end. 3 riders to advance, and this will be our last heat in the semifinal round for the Cat 4s. Don't forget the kickoff is a weekend event. We've got more racing tomorrow night. Saturday racing, it's starting at 6 o'clock. A lot of the same kind of things you're seeing today, but the different race format, of course. You can look forward to the fun then. Some of our riders are going to get up a little bit earlier and come out here for a morning time trial event. Not as publicized. We don't do the whole show for time trials, but it's still here, and it's free for folks that want to come onto the park and check it out. Leaving a little bit of gap here. Our lead riders, Conrad Mayer's got some space there between him and the pacer. Starting to close that back down again at 2 to go. The field sort of moving forward and backward behind him. And that's right, tomorrow night's event, don't forget, not the normal start time if you want to come into the park and enjoy the fun. We start earlier at 6 o'clock. If it wasn't for that darn pesky work, we'd probably start at 6 on most days too. And now with the pacer out of the way, Mayer's got the lead spot on his own. He continues to drive the pace, 1 to go. Anton trying to come alongside him. Jamie Park is following the junior right now. That's rider 406, the 2nd rider in the lineup in the chase right now, trying to get around the leader. Look out for the Team Epic, also trying to get into this. Ooh, Jack making a big jump here. Not just trying to stay in 3rd, he wants to take it. Get himself nice and warmed up for the race coming up later. So Jack makes a great move at the blue line. He's running away with this one. And it's going to be, I believe, Bernard Yee, 417, your 3rd rider across the line, along with Jamie Park and Hampson there coming in as our top 3. Open Women, Heat A. Coming on track next on deck will be Heat B, followed by the Cat 1-2 Men semifinal round. Five riders in the heat. Once again, 3 to advance to a final round from the group. To allow for appropriate rest time, Cat 1-2 Men moving after the Cat 3 Men. Cat 1-2 Men moving after the Cat 3 Men in this round for appropriate rest time. So we're going to shift around the groups a little bit to ensure appropriate rest time. That means Cat 3 Men should activate a little sooner. Cat 3 Men are coming up sooner than you thought. Our current group out here, that's Catherine Wade Easley that is closest to the pacer, number 88 in the blue. Danny Scoville for Jerry Baker Jr. is behind her. It's Amara Edwards in the middle of the group. Christine Diebler is the 4th rider. Claire Law, number 6 with the white helmet, is your 5th and last in the lineup. And they just have a half lap now before the pacer's out of the way, and off we go. Let's see how this one plays out. Again, 3 riders to move into the final. It's Wade Easley still on the lead of this thing and holding pace. Scoville just watching her wheel right now. Happy to be in someone else's shadow, but now Wade easily abandons the front. And this kind of opens up the race entirely at 1 to go. Scoville playing it patient down there. Edwards just above her outside that red line. Trying to come back into the sprinter's lane and let Danny lead things out down the back straight right now. Oh, a little bit of movement around the right side. People are trying some things out. Claire Law running at it from turn 2. Nice acceleration for her. They'll force Scoville to do a bit more work at the front. Top 3 get to ride again, and right now it's going to be Law and Scoville. Edwards trying to make sure she's third. Edwards will be third across the line. And that should be your top 3 for another race in the Kierin. Heat B coming up next, followed by the Cat 3 Men semifinal round. Cat 3 Men coming up shortly. Missed call on my part earlier. There will indeed be a minor final for the Open Women in the Elite Cat 1-2 Men to ensure for points, season points. So there will be a minor final. We are working on posting that up, along with all the other results from these heats. Currently on the track is the second of 2 heats in the semi-round for the Open Women. 3 more to advance towards the major final and a chance for top 6. The others will go race in that minor final that was just announced. That is not the case for the Cat 4 Men, the Cat 3 Men. Only for the Cat 1-2 Men and the Open Women field will we host that minor final. In our field tonight, we got Heather Nielsen. Number 3 draws the first position. It's Doherty, number 204, right behind her. Kelly Dolly, number 9. Leah Holslander, 242. Number 4, Lucy Gilchrist. And then finally, number 11, Annette Williams. Your 6 riders in this crew. Our Cat 3 riders getting lined up and ready to start here soon. This is our last heat for the semifinal round for the Open Women. Two to go, half a lap left with the pacer. We got some more great racing, including some really exciting Kierin finishes likely coming up here soon. If you're feeling like you might need a change of scenery, don't forget, come on into the Postdoc Brewery and Locust Cider sponsored Beverage Garden. All purchases go straight back into helping support the Velodrome. It's practically drinking your donations. It's a good time. Open through the rest of the evening. Come join us over here for some more fun. Of course, we still got the food trucks here going and strong. And speaking of going strong, the bell's ringing. It's 1 to go. And the Open Women, 3 more riders want to get into the major. That's Heather Nielsen, number 3, leading things through on the sprint. Kelly Darlene flanking in about a bike behind. Just kind of sitting over the right side, waiting for the opportunity to jump. Bit of pressure coming from the back now as the savvy number 11, Annette Williams, trying to move into position. Ooh, 4 riders coming through the turn. It's Kelly Darlene who's found herself leading this thing out just above the red line now, hitting the home side of the track. Darlene, Gilchrist, and Williams will be 1, 2, and 3 in this group. The rest will ride again in the minor final. The Cat 3 Men semifinal round is beginning next. this first heat in the warm-up circle. Gibson, Captis, Pyle, Arnoldi, and Hedrick. They're followed by Lacey, Wainwright, Douglas, Snoblin, and Stotts. Now these riders get it a bit interesting. It's higher stakes in the semifinals with 3 heats, and we're only running a major. It's top 2 advancing to final from each of these heats. Slightly smaller groups that they're competing against too, as there's about 5 riders here on average per group. 2 advance to the final, make a group of 6. So need to be top 2 here for this group of riders. Grant Gibson is the rider who draws the position right behind the pacer. Justin Captis in the white is second in the lineup. JC Pyle is the rider in the middle of this group, trying to ride a bit arrow there through the breeze. We've got Tyler Arnoldi for Waterline Racing, the 4th in this group. And finally, Carson Hedrick in the black kit is the 5th in this lineup. At 3 to go, we've fallen into our positions, and we'll see what happens in about a lap and a half here. Top 2 only allowed to continue to race tonight in the Kierin. Bringing him up to good speed here on the back straight. Grant Gibson up and out of the saddle just for a moment there, trying to make sure he keeps tempo. He'll pull up and out of the sprinter's lane though, letting Captis now control the speed at the front. He doesn't want any of it either. He'll move quickly to the right. Bell's ringing, 1 to go. Only 2 riders to continue racing for the Kierin this evening. Captis at the blue line is kind of holding court, but now it'll be the rider down the sprinter's lane, JC Pyle. Big turn of speed for him as the young rider gets things up to a good clip in turn 1. Tyler Arnoldi, we saw the big effort he had back in the scratch race. Or points race, pardon me. Ooh, it's a sprint between 2 here. Ooh. Hedrick, I think, makes the second run at it. It's going to be 3:04 on the outside, not by a lot. JC Pyle will take the victory, though not for anything yet. He's going to have to save and store his energies for another effort later tonight, as he's going to be coming back for that major final. Coming up after the Cat 3 men, we need to get the Cat 1-2 men semi-final round, the semis for the Cat 1-2s. Please come to the ready area. We will begin to get you in your groups. Cat 1-2s, the semi-final round are coming up. Let's go ahead and get you set and ready to go. On track now, we continue with this round of the Cat 3 men semi-final round. 2 riders from each of these heats continue to race for the major final in the top 6 spots. We just saw in that previous race how close it was to be in the top 2 in the battle between Arnoldi and Hedrick. And now we turn to this heat to see how these riders will take on this competition. On deck will be our last heat for this round for the Cat 3 men. They're followed by the semifinal round for the Cat 1-2s. Seeing 3 to go. That's Tyra Lacey, number 312 in the lead of the group. Gene Wainwright, number 333 is your second rider. Stan Douglas, the Red Power Ranger, is the middle rider in the group. Snoblin, our winner of the scratch race tonight. Aerotech Racing, your 4th rider in the group. And finally, Colin Stotts of Fountain Cycling is the 5th in the field. They will be seeing 2 to go and a half lap remaining with the pacer, who's brought them to a good clip here once again. Bit of a snap here in the middle of the group as Snoblin is having to re-accelerate a bit and hold on. That was a heck of a hop, and we're very thankful that didn't cause any issues. The race continues into the bell lap. Snoblin and Douglas battling it out now against Stotts in this group of 3. Two out of these 3 get to ride again, so it's still a good race here. Snoblin's starting to lose a little bit of pace as Stotts will start to overtake the Red Power Ranger, trying to lead the lap. It looks like he's going to be able to race again in the Kierin, and so will Stotts for the Fountain Cycling Guild. 2 riders to continue racing on in the next round. Your final heat coming onto the track next for the Cat 3 men. In the semifinal round, they are followed by the semifinals for the Cat 1-2s. Please be ready in the ready area. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the view out there as a YouTube viewer. If you haven't checked it out yet, you're here in person, want to see it, maybe give us a follow, a subscribe, the thumbs up, all the fun stuff. Head to velodrome.org/live and check out the racing action from that view. We've got cameras in the race on the Kierin bike, and we've got good views from on field and above, and you can check out the racing every single week on Friday nights. And for all of our special race nights, come back to the YouTube channel to get more race watching going on. Share it with friends and family. Of course, our riders always love to be able to go home and re-watch the action there. And if you're enjoying it now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and give a little bit of support to the channel. Thank you so much for helping us hit that big milestone last year of hitting partner status on YouTube. We continue to grow and build from there all the time. We got our first super chat last week, which was exciting for some premiums. We plan to do more with that in the coming weeks as we're going to open up our purses to raising a little bit extra cash for the riders and asking for some donations on the stream. Don't forget you have that button there. Let's check our group here with Aerotech Racing at the front is James Campbell Harris. For Apex Racing, right behind him is Aaron Halfacker. Luke Wilson, Seattle Cycling Club in the middle. Will Fowler, the 4th rider in the field for the Jerry Baker Juniors team. And also for the JBGJ team, it's Merrick Gallagher. Seeing 2 to go, half lap with the pacer left. There's some good finishers in this group. I'd be interested to see how this one plays out, as it seems 2 or 3 of these riders could be very competitive in the major final round, and they all find themselves here in this 3rd heat. Not least of which is going to be Luke Wilson there in the middle. The juniors following him up. Aaron Halfacker right in front of him. These are some speedy finishers in this group. Campbell Harris guarding the front. This is about an 80% effort. He's still ready to go faster as needed, but he's waiting for someone else to come into view. Slowing up a little bit into turn 2. Now reacceleration as indeed. Wilson is going to be the first to try to overtake the lead spot. A nice turn here down the back straight. Good acceleration as he's up and out of the saddle. Merrick Gallagher following the wheel. The wheel he drew from the beginning was his. He'll follow him all the way around and try to get to the line. Wilson and Gallagher going head to head for the extra fun. They go to the major final. Gallagher and Wilson. Cat 1-2 men. The semifinal round now upcoming. On the track now, your first of two groups in the semifinal rounds for the Cat 1-2 men. This is Christian Miller in the first spot for 10-speed hero. Mario Sandoval, number 101, is the second rider. Brendan Russell, 129 of Fountain Cycling Guild, is the third. John Bowie, Waterline Racing, 124, your fourth rider. Matty Hers, Coefficient of Speed, the fifth in the line. And Mike Robson, 10-speed hero, is the sixth in this field. Apparently not, because those draws have changed. But those are the 6 competitors in our field. So let's take a look at our actual lineup and see where our riders ended up. Matty Hers is right behind the pacer. Christian Miller is the second rider there. John Bowie in the blue third spot. Mario Sandoval, it's Robson, and then Russell in that order is how they have drawn. And another lap with the pacer still to go. This is going to be split in half. Half of these riders get to ride towards the major final in top 6 positions. The others will race for 7, and the rest beneath that in the minor final. So once again, it pays to be at the front, but not as high stakes as what we just saw from the Cat 3s. Pace is out of the way. It's Matty Hers' race to lead. Getting the one to go mark as they hit the home straight. 3 riders advance. Hers waiting and watching. Miller starting to pick up the pace now nicely down the back straight. Excuse me, the home straight, hitting the turn. In the lead, he's opened up a little bit of a gap here. Bowie, we've seen just how much closing speed he has tonight. The rider in second position right now with the blue. Easily going to be able to close down the gap. Now the question is who's going to follow him? It looks like Sandoval's in good shape here to hold on to the wheel. It might be 4 fighting over for 3. Bowie looking like he's got this one. Sandoval, Miller. Whoa, I think Miller still holds on long enough. Brendan Russell was making a good run at it, but it wasn't quite enough time or room to get over the rider down the sprinter's lane. I believe it'll be Miller as our third rider across the line. Your second heat now coming out. Again, we'll go half and half here. Sage DeLuce, Brad Cunningham, Scott Grinsell, Alex Siegel, Andrew Carlberg, and Nolan Adams have qualified into the semifinal round. Half of them get to race for the top 6 spots. We'll see who is your victor here in 4 short and fast laps. After this, the Cat 4 men final. Our top 6 from the Cat 4 field to draw, please, to the ready area now. Cat 4 men, top 6. The women minor can also come on over for their draw. So let's get those next 2 groups heading on over. Cat 4 men final for the draw. Open women minor final to draw for position. Come on over. Brad Cunningham draws position number 1. That's the rider in the black and the green. Behind him is Nolan Adams in the pink of Dyna Racing Team. We have Andrew Carlberg, Coefficient of Speed in the blue, is the third rider in this group. Scott Grinsell with the gray and the black helmet is the fourth rider. I believe our next 2 riders looking awfully similar there. From the other side of the track with the white helmets, we've got Sage DeLuce, number 136, Alex Siegel, 110. Another call again, open women, minor final, Cat 4 men final. To the ready area, please. I know I talk a lot and you just kind of tune me out after a while. It's probably better for your health anyways. Beth Adams popping in to ask a question about the Pacer bike being an e-bike. That changed a few years ago, and actually the story is kind of convoluted and long, but it has a lot to do with insurance. Not saving the earth. But the e-bike solution has really been helpful, that we've been able to find this solution, and it's a good opportunity for us to thank another one of our sponsors, Greg Cycles, for helping us with the connection to get this bike and getting a good deal on it and servicing us with it. So, at one to go, let's see who is going to be riding in the major final. Who's got to ride down in the minor final? Cunningham, number 128 of the Keller Rohrbach team, leads things out. Carlberg with the big gear, bringing it up to speed across the finish line. He's going to try to take the lead spot as they hit turn 3 and try to hold that position. He just needs top 3 spot, and he looks to be in a good place for it. Sage DeLuce on the far outside. Alex Siegel way out there making a nice run at it. Whoa! That is not an easy top 3, folks. I know Carlberg and Siegel were there. I think Cunningham might have gotten it on the inside, but that was tight for that third wheel across the line. Good race there to see who gets to race again in the major final. Should set up a really exciting final round for these competitors. Coming on now, it is the only final for the Cat 4 men. Our top riders, they have qualified to this stage, and they are now allowed to race for top 6 in the Kierin. It's the Cat 4 final coming to the track. 4 to go. Oh, geez. Gavin Newman, Josh Jeffrey, Trevor Matsushima, Jack Hampson, Jamie Park, and Bernard Yee are your riders to make it to this point. We now look at the draw. It looks like Trevor Matsushima, the rider to pick up that first position. Bernard Yee right behind him, the rider in pink. We got Team Epic in the 3rd spot and 4th spot, with Newman and Hansen filling out the middle of this field. Number 427 with the green is Josh Sherfree. And finally, to round out the group, we've got Jamie Park of the Dyna Racing team in our group of 6. All racing for top 6 spots now. So all that qualifying, all that setup, and all that pre-drama is now all coming down to this one race for this field. First rider across the line will be crowned the champ tonight in the Kierin for the Cat 4s. Seeing 2 to go on the back straight, the Pacer pulls out of the way, and the speedster number 48 has been very active here in the preseason, continues to look good tonight, will be in the lead of this field. Let's see what he does with that lead. Always a tough spot to be, kind of put yourself in the shoes of the racer, as it's now you in that tough spot of, do I want to lead these other riders? And in fact, Trevor says, heck yeah, I do. I'm just going to try and drop them right now. The 600-meter effort here for the rider in the black with the white helmet coming around the turn. He's just going to try to drop them all behind him. Trevor's on the move. Put your hands together. The Cat 4 final. Whoa. Trying to get rid of Team Epic is a hard thing to do. Those Portland riders are finicky. Look at this rider just zooming right up into the lead spot. It's Gavin Newman. Makes a drive up I-5 to show us Seattle folks what's up. Newman knows how to bring that thing up to speed, rolling that bike around the competition. A nice finish for the young competitor here today. 4-2-1, we'll take it. Trevor with a great race today will still find himself second across the line. Still gotta like that. I'm not sure I've seen anybody like anything more than Gavin Newman just like that win tonight though. Looking very quick. Ready to get those upgrade points and move his way into the next field. I think some of these riders are excited for that in 2023. Here comes the minor final for the open women, followed by the major final for the women. 4 to go for our minor final. Leah Holslander, the Jerry Baker Juniors team, is in the lead spot right behind the pacer. It looks to be Diebler, number 205. Christine riding for Liquid Velo is the second rider in the group. Wade Easley for the Kenmore Velo Cycling team in third spot. Pardon me, Catherine is with her teammate out there as Heather Nielsen's right in front of her, so Wade Easley in the fourth spot. And then finally, number 204, Doherty for the Breakfast Racing team for this minor final. On deck, the major final, our top 6 open women competitors will be going for the top honors tonight in the Kierin. They are followed by the Cat 3 final. Cat 3 top 6 are just 2 races away. Cat 3 final coming up quick. Right as we're seeing 2 to go, we're getting close to it here, our minor final. We can get our riders placed in about 2 laps now, 2 to go. The junior Holslander in 5th spot, or excuse me, at the front spot, will be leading this thing out now. And there goes the pacer, and it's Leah's turn to lead. Still holding tempo. She'll pull to the right. Good move here before the sprint's fully engaged. Going to try to find a wheel. Diebler's holding on to the tempo currently from the front. Bell's ringing for 1 to go. Riders kind of fanning out here, giving lots of lanes of attack. It'll be Nielsen in the middle position, like she wants to make a good run at it and take the front away. And she's able to get into position, so now Nielsen's just trying to hold on to it for about 300 meters here. And down the back straight, looking like she's able to open a little bit of a gap on the chase. Diebler not letting this one go. It's Nielsen coming onto the home straight, but it's still a race. Long time for Nielsen to be leading this thing out. Can Diebler find the second effort here? It's Nielsen will hold on as Diebler was making a good run at it, followed by Wade Easley here in the minor final. A good race for open women. Here comes up next the major final, our top 6 spots, followed by the Cat 3 men final. We see in this field Annette Williams, Mara Edwards, Kelly Darlene, Lucy Gilchrist, Claire Law. I got one more on my list. I got to figure out who that is. Oh, Danny Scoville, of course. Our 6 riders going for the top 6 here today in the Kierin for the open women field. Following the Cat 3 men final, the minor final for the Cat 1-2 men. And then our last race of the evening, the major final for the Cat 1-2 men before we call it a wrap tonight. Four to go. Annette Williams draws that first position. That's number 11. For Team Mama Bear in the second spot, Mar Edwards, number 5. Number 9, in the all blue, that's Kelly Darlene. Followed by Scoville for the Jerry Baker Juniors team with the blue helmet and the disc wheel. Claire Law with the dark red and the white helmet for the Breakfast Racing team. And then finally, also for Jerry Baker Juniors, Lucy Gilchrist will be the 6th rider in that line. That's for the top spot tonight. So all the glory in the top speed event comes down to this one race for these riders at 3 to go. Anticipation building here as we see the 2 to go mark, but a half lap remaining with the pacer. Our lineup remains the same with Williams glued to that rear wheel. You want to study good technique and approach to riding a track bike, watch Annette Williams. Smooth, predictable, and in control. She's right up on the pacer, ready to take the lead spot. See what she does with it. Wouldn't be surprised to see the hill move up here. Gonna hold on to it for a little longer. So Annette's watching over the right shoulder, just waiting to see if somebody's gonna make the jump at her. Our multi-time Masters national champion, Annette Williams, in control of the field still at 1 to go. Kelly, Darlene brings it up at the blue line. Riding close there as Edwards having a hard time finding a space to race in. Annette having to re-accelerate down the sprinter's lane. She has control of the shortest way around the track, but Darlene just having a little bit more speed is able to take it from her. Talking about a little bit more speed, here comes Scoville. And our speedster from the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team, Scoville. Opening things up nicely. Claire Law, second across the line. I think it was Darlene, third. I still haven't put it together how Top Speed and Scoville, heat the whole, hot food thing. There's something in there. I'm gonna get it together before 2023 is over. Cat 3 men final coming onto the track now. They are followed by the minor final for the Cat 1-2s, and then finally our last race tonight, the major final, is set to go for the Cat 1-2 men. Let's check our order here for the lineup. It's Luke Wilson, number 306, right behind the pacer. Carson Hedrick in the all black with the second position. In the green, Colin Stotts for the Found Cycling Guild. Merrick Gallagher has got that red helmet on. He is racing for the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. And the fourth rider in the group, a teammate, JC Pyle. He's got the black helmet right behind him. And the all red of the Power Ranger has shown up to compete today. Stanley Douglas of the Flow Cycling Racing Team 391. This is for all the honors again. This is a group that only gets to race their major final, so only the top 6 get to race in this final round, and this is them. No change in position since announced last. They're all in their lineup still at 2 to go. Half lap here before the pacer pulls out of the way, and off we go to the races behind the power of Luke Wilson. See what he does with his position at the front. Some really great speed out of these riders in their qualifying rounds. We've seen what Hedrick's been able to do in several sprints tonight during the points race. Merrick Gallagher, one of the juniors, has been very active during that points race. We saw his top speed on showing a lot. Let's see what we make of it here as we're at the 1 to go. Top 6 at the line. Next time around, who's your champ? Luke Wilson's still leading things out. Everybody's kind of just strewn out behind him. The sprint's not fully engaged. Wilson's still about 3/4 of his full effort, waiting to see something. Oh, Gallagher gets on top of the gears nicely. He will get himself into a great position quickly. It's the juniors racing out in front of the adults now. Gallagher, Pyle, Wilson. Here comes Pyle trying to get a position around Gallagher. Gallagher, Pyle. Whoa! I think 313 might have just barely gotten it. The unofficial call goes to Pyle. Gallagher close to it. What a great race head-to-head between those two. And your rider in gray, Luke Wilson, on the outside. I think we'll find third. Not every day do 2 juniors compete against a Super Bowl champion and have that kind of a showing, huh? Pretty cool stuff. Good sprinting there for our Cat 3s and the 2 Jerry Baker juniors. Head-to-head competition continues. The minor final for the Cat 1-2 men now getting queued up, and they will be followed by the major final, our top 6 for the Cat 1-2 men, coming up next. We will have some podium presentations at the very end because we're going to bring up this beautiful backdrop in the center, in the inner field there. So please do stick around for some podium pictures. We'd love to have you up there and celebrate your evening all together. Podiums to occur after the final race. The first rider in the lineup for the minor final here is Sage DeLuce, number 136. Draws first position. For Keller Rohrbach is Rad Cunningham right behind him. In the green with the black helmet, Brandon Russell. 132 is Mike Robson for the 10-speed Hero team. Scott Grinsel for Dyna Racing in the gray with the black helmet. And finally, for the coefficient of speed, Maddie Hers, number 104, is your 6th rider in this group. I think it's a good sign for this field and the kind of competition in this year that these are riders that on any given night might have found the victory in this field, depending on who showed up to compete. So a fast minor final coming up here. 2 to go. I'm going to be interested to see how the riders right in the center of this field position and move as this thing gets going. As well as the rider at the very, very back. Not going to be happy with being that far away from the sprint. We'll see how this thing gets reshuffled. So far, DeLuce holding tempo from the pacer, and the lineup staying pretty steady behind him. Everybody's kind of hesitating here at 1 to go. No real reshuffling. DeLuce continues to look and watch. And there's the rider expected to make some movement happen. It's going to be our rider in green. Indeed, there he goes. Russell attacking pretty hard there through the turn. And Brandon finding the front now as Russell's in his turn and in his effort. Can he hold on? The counter charge is coming. The effort from Cunningham around the right side. Whoa, that's tight. Oh, jeez. Keller Rohrbach down the center. DeLuce, I'm not sure how he found a lane there, but he's found a lane and found some room to sprint. But we're going to give that one to Keller Rohrbach Racing, it looks like, as that'll be almost an entire bike in front of everybody else by the time that wrapped up. A great acceleration from him on the final turn. And now, your final race of the evening. Our first full night of racing almost finalized. The kickoff Friday night session has one more race, some podium pictures, and a nice hangout afterwards if you want to be here with us. It's the Elite Men Cat 1-2's grand final for the Kierin, now queued up and ready to come onto the track.
For those of us that have stuck around in the audience, we should hear some noise once this gets going. The few and mighty that have stayed, let's hype it up.
We've seen these riders race at least twice before. You might as well pick your favorite and cheer them on if you don't know who to cheer for. See, they're waving at you. Look at them. They're like, that's me, that's me. It's, I believe, Nolan Adams and Alex Siegel trying to get a little bit extra help out there on the track. So they want to hear some noise as they come by. It's Mario Sandoval who drew the first position, so bib 101 takes the first spot. Christian Miller found his way into this final off of a pretty long effort. We saw the way he raced it into the qualifying round here. He's up against some very fast finishers, though, and the fastest of it on our track record right behind him. So Andrew Karlberg, always known for his effort on this type of race. Top speed, certainly a specialty, and he's got a challenger 2 wheels back in Alex Siegel, who's been right there on his heel time and time again. Nolan Adams finds himself between the two, the rider in pink for Dyna Racing. Rider number 124, it's John Bowie, is the 6th rider in that lineup. He finds himself way at the back of this thing. This race will be ridden in such a way that it's 106's race to kind of control. We're going to be watching him quite a bit here, as we know that this is a race that he's dominant in. Other riders are going to be watching how he does this. Miller, not on the front. He has to kind of allow Sandoval here to do what he's going to do. Sandoval moving up. It's allowing Miller an opportunity if he wants to move into the sprinter's lane and try to attack. He's going to sit with it, though. At 1 to go. We've got 1 lap. Sandoval will take the attack now. That's going to be an invitation for Karlberg to start pulling up as well. Siegel's going to have to start accelerating as well as Bowie from the back end of this thing. Now Karlberg going to try and show the top speed down the back straight. And this is what I'm talking about, folks. He gets running at it. He gets up on the gears, and it just almost looks like he's racing alone. Karlberg cruising here in his early season efforts. Coefficient of speed. Knows the top speed so well. Karlberg will be once again our champion tonight in a great Kierin for the early part of the season. And for all of our riders, a nice finish here tonight. Good competition throughout the evening. Folks, we don't have much more to do on our end. We're going to be kind of closing up shop up here from the deck. Thank you for joining us. If you're on the stream still and you're still holding out and you haven't hit that thumbs up or that subscribe button, you should probably by now. I mean, what are you doing? We'd love your support. We'd love to share. Let folks know that you were here watching some great racing action. For the fans outside here at the Velodrome hanging around on the rail, we still got the food and beverage here if you want to hang out and get a little bit more refreshment on your way out the door. We'd love to see you and hang out with you for a little bit longer. If not, well, we just hope you had a good time. You'll come back for some more fun here another week. We got racing tomorrow, 6 o'clock. It's the second session of our kickoff weekend. Saturday night racing, 6 o'clock start. We will be streaming it, so do also tune in if you're not able to make it down to the Velodrome. Riders, we got that morning session tomorrow for the crazies of you that want to do some time trialing. You've already signed up and we'll host you out here for that. There will not be a streaming event for that particular series of races, but more will come to you tomorrow evening. Welcome to regular season racing 2023. Thank you for being a part of tonight's production. If you came out here in person and cheered for some riders, thank you so much. Thanks to our officiating crew for keeping everybody safe and doing a great job tonight. Our volunteers in and outside of the Velodrome here, and of course my help up here on the deck for helping with the live stream and all of the bringing it to you. Thanks to Eric for being our race night manager. Thanks to all of you for making it possible, supporting this great Velodrome. We look forward to having you out here again for some more great racing at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.